So you have this little position where you on.
Let me get back to the. Is my volume being on okay?
No, you good. You good.
Okay. I don't want to get feedback or nothing like that because
No, it's live. It's live on YouTube now. It should be up on the YouTube board now. I'm gonna start the countdout in like 2 minutes. If I pull this off correctly, might be able to watch it on the screen. Yeah.
get my on air sign up that I forgot last week. I've been trying to rehab this whole thing.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Coach T with Chicago Bears 360 with Coach T and Swifty. Back with another live video for you on this Sunday morning. Do me a favor as you come into the comments section, man. Run them likes up. Let's get the algorithm bussing. Also, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you know when we're live. And then also follow me on Twitter at Chicago Bears 360, man. Listen, got a good show for you today, man. Got my boy Vil from the 3 Point Stands podcast joining us and chiming in today. He's going to join us on the live session here in a second. But I got a Chicago Bears 360 first for you. After we run this intro, we're going to come back live with the Chicago Bears presser on screen, and we're going to make it do what it do. So y'all know what's next. We're going to cue the intro maestro. Let's go. Contra.
Life like chess, move to pieces, you know I roll in silence. On the road to them Benjis, I fill my teeth with diamonds. I'm high as fuck in the sky, you would've thought I'm pilot. I'm from Chicago, it get ugly, fill the streets with violence. Life like chess, move to pieces, you know I roll in silence.
Past, present, future. We bear down.
And just like that, we're back live with you. I got my boy Bill down here from 3 Point Stand podcast. Y'all see right there real fast, we got Chicago Bears presser streaming live. Thanks for joining the podcast, Bill. Man, we've been looking to have you on for a while, man. Shout out to Bill. And my bad, man, introduce your co-host, man. I don't want to be rude.
I got my dog, Alfredo. Decade strong friendship, brotherhood. He over here. He's setting up for the episode a little later on.
Man, we got to get Fredo on the camera, man. You can't do him like that. Shout out to Fredo.
I'm trying to get him in.
Shout out to Fredo, man. Thanks for joining us. You might as well chime in. You here, bro?
Hey, man, he definitely got the knowledge. I love bro. That's why he over here preparing. He knocking down notes and stuff.
Hey, man, I ain't trying to interrupt what y'all got going, but definitely thank you for joining, man. We want to always like to promote, you know what I'm saying, brothers out there doing great things with their channel, man. So while we waiting on this you Bears pressure to take back off, do me a favor, man. Go ahead and plug the channel, what y'all got going on, and then also throw out y'all's social media hashtags and all that other stuff y'all tag so so the fans know where to connect with y'all at.
All right, for sure. We are 3 Point Stands Pod. I'm Vil, my dog Alfredo, like I said earlier. You can find us at 3 Point Stands Pod on Twitter, 3 Point Stands Pod on YouTube. We deal in everything from current events, breaking news, sports news, music, media, movies, anything that's hot, we discuss. We dropping in our icebreakers if it's not sports related. And then we lead into any NBA, MLB, or football news. Alfredo is my co-host. super aficionado on the baseball tip. So if you need any hot White Sox updates or anything with the MLB period, he don't mess with Cubs like I do. So so I don't never put the two in the same sentence. So, but that's the baseball guy.
Fredo said, "Nah, man, we ain't messing with those Cubs, man. Listen, Bill, while we got time, man, I like what y'all do, and I appreciate you pointing out the fact that, man, you guys kind of have a broader scope in what you know what I'm saying you cover on the channel, and I appreciate that. The times I had a chance to tune in, man, it's been everything pop culture, right? Everything current events, man. From I seen some stuff on Brittany Griner and what's going on with her to just attacking everything pop culture. And then, man, it has a Chicago foundational twist on that, man. Where did you come up with the concept of 3-point podcast? Like, what did it kind of ruminate or generate from, man?
Well, I guess a few years ago we were sitting back. Me and my dog, we do fantasy football. We talk. Shoot, we text like damn near every day. Anything that's new, any updates. Like I can think all the way back to the Mac trade. You know what I'm saying? It was 7:00 in the morning. Boom, boom, boom. We hit each other same time, same man, same sequence. Like, dog, do you see that? Woo, woo. So, we basically, what I'm saying, just came together and was like, let's drop something. The name 3-point stands basically is just kind of like a double, triple entendre, if you will. 3-point shot, 3-point stands in on football. And then we have 3 points. Usually we'll try to have a guest come in. So it's like me, him, and then somebody else that's bringing it up or let people comment. So it's us and the crowd. 3 points, 3 stands. A lot of people mistake it by putting stands, but it stands like a Fanatic fan, STANS, not STANCE. So we kind of flip each word 3-point stands, and it's allowed to be looked at any different way.
Yeah. No, I like that. When I saw it, I was like, I didn't catch the triple entendre, but I think I picked up on a double, right? So I'm thinking football, 3-point stands, and then I think about some of the crazy Twitter out there. They call them stands. That I don't know, bro, but it was dope to me. So I'm like, I'm on it, man. I saw hey, man, and then it's always extra special, man, when you can do it with your partners, right? You know what I'm saying? Your homeboys, people that you close with already. We talk about sports anyway, so translating that to the social media medium, man, and putting that out in front of people and letting them in on those conversations, man, is super extra dope, man. So we're going to get into it today, man. Swifty may be joining us later, man. We'll get a chance to talk to him, get his updates on player personnel, what's going on with the Bears in the building. I've been texting back and forth with my boy Herb from the Bigs podcast, trying to sneak my questions in on Herb so he can do it in Hallows Hall. Herb is my little bit of my outlet to get my questions in and try and slide some of my questions in on that. So we've been conversing about what's going on with the Bears, man. A lot of drama this week, right? Especially over the Tevin Jenkins situation, man.
Which we still don't know anything
about. Me and you had some Twitter exchanges about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm all for a friendly debate, man. So give me y'all's kind of take on kind of perception of what's going on in the building with Tevin, man.
I'm gonna let my dog start on that.
I mean, I personally feel like the organization doesn't owe him anything. At the end of the day, this organization did not move up in the draft to draft him. They owe him absolutely nothing. So it's up to him to prove to this organization whether or not he's worth it.
Right.
And if he's already having issues with the coaching staff, reportedly, he's acting immature. He was seen at practice yesterday, which was the first sighting we ever saw of him. Mm-hmm. So I just think that, at the end of the day, you have to show and prove. Right. NFL is a production-based business. So if he's not showing, and from what I'm hearing, Braxton Jones is actually outworking him, but he got hurt yesterday as well. So, but, Eberflus says that apparently it's not that major of an injury. So, I mean, I think that's the reason why they got Radley Reef and they got Schofield. Mm-hmm. They just don't trust him.
Right.
for their scheme. That's my personal opinion about it. And whether or not, like I was telling Jonathan on our last episode, I said this offensive line can be completely different next year.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to take that into consideration, that this organization owes him nothing.
Gotcha.
Nobody owes him anything.
Alfredo coming in with the hot takes. I like it. I didn't hear anything I disagreed with. I think I have a slightly different perspective, but we're gonna get that. Go ahead, Bill. Go ahead and do your thing.
With me, I'm a little bit on in between both of y'all. I know you're gonna get into your particular take on the situation. I mean, you had some debates, like you said, on Twitter. I think, he's talented. I think mentally he's given off Ben Simmons vibes. I think he might be having an issue dealing with media, him not living up to his draft status and what he did at in college. I think the most telling part was at the end of the last presser when he was finally interviewed, when he said, "I don't talk to polls about trade talk. I talk to my agent." And then when they asked, "Well, what has the agent said?" He said, "I don't want to disclose that information."
Right.
He didn't say there was no trade talk. He didn't say, "Oh, they're not taking calls." He said, "I don't want to disclose what was discussed."
Right.
So obviously, there's got to be something in the background going on. He's probably feeling a certain type of way mentally. He may not hate the coach, and the coaches may not hate him. We got a more disciplined coaching staff, so I love it. He could still fight for it, like Lugetti said, but I think it's more of a mental thing with him. So when they were saying he was with trainers or whatnot, I think he just was kind of in the building, but just dealing with something mentally.
Yeah,
and that's why he's even on the practice field.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree with any of that. I think, I started leaning towards more the mental aspect of kind of adjusting to the change in concept, right? And then also we said all off season, right? This is a system fit type of organization, from Ryan Poles to even the coaching staff, that they were developing a system and drafting players to fit that system, and so much staying away from the name brand players. So to the point, you know what I'm saying? And Herb even confirmed this when we did the spaces the other day. Herb Howard from the Bigs, y'all hear Herb in the press conferences at Hallis Hall asking questions. Herb did a spaces the other day, and I asked Herb, I said, "Listen, man, like, what is it looking like in the building or when you've seen them in person?" Right. The first thing was they have this height weight criteria that they, this regulation that they put on players. Like, you had to show up in the building a certain height, certain weight, or certain weight. Larry, I said, compared to Larry, what Larry looked like last year and what he looks like now, and compared it to like the progress from Larry Borum and Tevin Jenkins and what they looking like. And he was like, well, Larry, it's visible. Like, Larry didn't drop the weight. He came in super extra light. But he also said that Tevin didn't have the weight to give. Like, it doesn't look like that on camera, but he was like, Tevin is a mammoth of a man. And, you know what I'm saying, him losing, a whole extra bunch of weight, you know what I'm saying, he didn't know, he wasn't sure that he had it to give. And then Tevin even said it during the presser. He was like, hold on a second. At Oklahoma, we ran a spread offense, outside zone all the time, up tempo or tempo offense. He said, I had to be at 315. He said, I'm at 321.8 right now. Like, he gave him the 0.8 on the end. Like, so he was like saying, like, look, don't try and make it about that. Let's make it about what it is. And then to go so far to explain the whole, hey, you know what I'm saying, I tweeted out to the media piece, like, don't believe everything you read, was almost like, that was pretty much a shot at Cap, man. I'm just going to call it how I feel it. Cap put that story out there, and then the national media relies on Cap. If you notice, ESPN calls Cap if they want a Chicago take. They don't call too many other people. They call Cap if they want him on the nationally syndicated shows and stuff like that. So I think, that story got forwarded to probably Rappaport from Cap about there being a collision with the staff. I thought I kind of had a chance to sit with yesterday's presser all day yesterday, and I was like, you know what? I think Tevin might be tired of the media. He might be tired of the drunk uncles in Chicago. Like, we all know, bro. Like, you sit in that media room outside of her and one other person. I think I forgot her name. It's the female reporter. Some of those questions, you know what I'm saying? Some of those questions, they span the spectrum of downright dumb and disrespectful. Like the whole Byron Pringle situation. Like repeatedly going in on the questions about, what happened with the incident. Nothing came up again on the blotter. He hasn't been a guy that's been in trouble. And you almost kind of like trying to chastise him. You know what I'm saying? A grown man, an embarrassment in front of other people. Like, let's not eliminate the drunk uncles from the equation too, man, because they get into it. So I'll say this: we have a saying in coaching, right? And to Alfredo's point, right? Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, right? Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And so, if he did come in lackluster, right, and not with that right energy and not with that level of preparedness, right? You've seen Flus do it with Jalen Johnson. He didn't have a problem putting him on the second string. Jalen tightened right on up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Tevin didn't give him that same response, and it kind of went down the other path. So it's just too much, man. It's just too much to speculate on. But I see both of y'all's point, right?
Yeah.
What are you thinking? And Fredo mentioned him, Braxton Jones, who, listen, y'all. Anybody that follows the show know I'm not overly crazy about rookie left tackles, right? Protecting the blind side of my franchise quarterback. How do y'all feel about Braxton Jones, and what he's bringing to the table? Is it a surprise? What's your feelings on that?
I think that where they drafted him, to me, he was a steal for where they drafted him. I mean, if this guy has any potential in there, from what I hear, that they really like him. They really prefer him over Tevin Jenkins. I mean, obviously, because it's a guy they drafted, right? Whenever you draft a guy, you put your emphasis and your all into drafting that guy. I like him. I feel like he has high potential, high ceiling. I feel like I know he's a rookie, but at the end of the day, you got to develop somewhere. You got to start somewhere. So, I mean, if he can add anything to our season this year, that would be a plus. It's more than what we had last year. I think any little thing that we can improve the offensive line is a plus, no matter what. Like, even if it's just a little bit. If he plays, in 10 games, I mean, I feel like that's even an improvement. If he can give us something. I just want somebody in this offensive line to give us something. Like, that's it. Just protect the quarterback. That's all I want. It's very simple. I don't ask for much. I don't want him to be killed back there like last year at the Cleveland game. That was an embarrassment, and I was physically there. So, I think the ceiling's high for him, for where they drafted him.
Yeah, I like it, especially after hearing, he went through OTAs, did his things, stayed with the ones. I think that's the time period where Tevin Jenkins went to the twos for those 6 straight practices at the end, and then he came back in the first practice in training camp. TJ was second string again. Braxton was 1. Obviously, they want to try to give, Reef and Schofield opportunities to try to win that job as well. But it's good to me, like I talked to you on Twitter yesterday, Coach, when I was saying that, he's solidly there. People are using the word lock. I'll just say solidly there. And I do agree with you when you said that maybe they're trying to get that extra evaluation. Like my dog said, they think this is their prized possession. So they want to evaluate. They want to see what he can do, see how much dog he can do. Hey, man, we live in Chicago. It's been 90, 95 degrees. If he out there still with the ones and ain't slowed down, and they saying that he keeping up with Robert Quinn, who just set a Bears record, you know how great and legendary our defenses have been over the years, and he's able to keep up with Robert Quinn. Obviously, we want to see him in live snaps. Like you brought me down to earth yesterday and was like, well, let's see him against like Aaron Donald or this guy. But
right.
it's good to hear that he's holding his own with somebody that actually is active and can shut you down and make all that steam that you building up be pissed out the tire. So, I like the kid, like Swift said, I wish he was on. Swift was been bragging and beating that drum all off season about Braxton Jones. So if he can pull it off and he's the one, then I don't mind it being a rookie.
Right. Like that's how I'm at, right? So I already got a comment in the comment section, Coach T, the rookie hater. Listen, it's different. Listen, when you've been on that field, when you've been coaching the position, when you've been on them sidelines, bro, just experiences. Experience has taught me, right? It's you have the t-shirt and short Olympics, right? But then also you have when the pads come on. And if anybody's been following me on Twitter all week, what have I been fussing about all week that I didn't have? I don't have any defensive line, offensive line, 1v1, right? Indie periods.
Video.
Any film footage from the individual periods, because what I like to do is I like to take and formulate my takes off of the film footage. Same thing with everybody like, oh, Coach T hates Larry Borum. No, I don't like Larry Borum. It's just I don't dislike him. It's just the fact that I went through the painstaking process of going to all 22 film, watching a whole season's worth of footage, and doing a whole breakdown video that showed me what the film showed me. So you want me to come off of my take just because you said? No, I'm going to wait till he puts out new film. And then if he's gotten better, like I gave him credit. I said he lost the weight. The one little clip I saw, he pulled out on a sweep, a pin pull, toss sweep. I was like, okay, Larry looking a little bit nimble. So I'm going to do my evaluation after the film. And again, coaching experience has taught me that, listen, you plug in a rookie at left tackle, and mind you, I haven't seen him go against Quinn. I saw like one rep where he kind of gobbled Quinn up. Great. That's a speed pass rusher. There's power pass rusher. There's the plethora of pass rushers and moves, the various moves these guys have throughout the NFL, right? Throughout the NFL. And I'm saying you're going to have to face all of that, right? And then when I make that take, a lot of people, again, they don't understand the why that's important. I explained this on the spaces, right? Somebody said, oh, Coach T just is, what did they try to label me? Oh, you just like Nagy. You trying to run 5-man protection on everything. No, bro, I'm not trying to run 5-man protection on everything. But the teams that can run 5-man protection at a greater rate have a higher success rate on developing pass plays, right? Because I broke down the math, right? If you have 5-man protection plus a quarterback, that's 6, right? That's 6. That leaves you 5 eligible receivers to go against if the defense is only rushing 4. 5 versus 7. If I have to keep a running back in and a tight end, right, I got to go to 7-man protection. That leaves me only 3 bodies to go against 7 defensive backs. It's math. Like, why is it so hard? Like, it's not even, that's not even football. That's math 101. The likelihood of me winning a rep with 5 receivers versus having 3, that's a greater chance, right? That's so back to Jones. It's not, hey, I don't like rookies. I'm saying, listen, if this is me, this is my offense, my team. I'm saying if I'm a coach, I'm going to put the seasoned vet that has all this library of experience and seeing all these moves on the backside of my QB1. And then the guy that's a rookie, I'm going to put it within his line of sight, within Justin's line of sight. That way, if he gets beat, Justin knows, oh, the rookie just got beat. I'm out of here. Spam, get busy with my quick legs and get out of here, right? It's just, some stuff is, so there's a such thing as called overcoaching, right? Some things are just common sense, right? And I'm not in the building, but what we do on here is we try to connect the points with logic. And to me, that's just pure logic. Now, I'm a Bears fan. So if he goes out there and kills it and he's gobbling guys up in 101, and he kills it the entire season, what am I gonna be mad for? That mean if he's doing that, that means we're winning. If Braxton Jones is winning 101 battles versus seasoned NFL pass rushers, bro, I'm telling you, we're winning 10, 11 ball games.
Mm-hmm.
Easy. That means this dude he's an anomaly. He's come to the league. Somehow somebody missed him in recruiting all through college, and he's come to the league with the tools prepared to be an all-pro. Because if you're winning those battles, you're all-pro level. If you're not getting beaten, you don't need running back chips and helps, you're all-pro. Because even the best, Trent Williams requires help sometimes. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying the math ain't mathing for me. It just, you know what I'm saying? How I watch football, the math just don't math for me. Like, okay, I get it. So again, the catalyst for really staking my claim on the take is this: show me the film. Show if I would have seen the film and I seen him at camp dominating in one-on-ones, I'd be like, oh, dude, let's go. We ready. Now, here's the other part. I had a question for y'all coming off the Tevin Jenkins take with this Braxton Jones mixed in, right? Is not this staff, would it not be the same thing that Nagy was doing? If Tevin Jenkins is not a system fit, but Tevin Jenkins has this immense talent, and I've seen it. I've done the film breakdown. Dude can play, but he's not an exact fit for this system. Do you not, as an offensive coordinator, take a subtle nuance and say, listen, I know I want to run this, but I got a left tackle or right tackle that does this well, and he can be dominant doing that. Do you not modify your offense just a little bit and say, I'm going to play to this guy's strength? Didn't we accuse Nagy of doing the same thing?
That's facts. No argument there.
I'm just saying, like, we say, okay, we don't think about that in terms of offensive linemen, right? But if I have a offensive lineman that's a little bit bigger, he may not be so good. Say, I'm trying to figure out what his issue would be with him being bigger anyway. He's still quick enough to block outside zone, definitely powerful enough to block inside zone. He's at tackle, so you won't be pulling him a whole lot unless you're running true counter trade. Like, I don't know.
Maybe
I say if you Luke Gessie, you say, okay, what does this guy do well? I may not put him at left, but I'm going to put him at right, and I'm going to design plays to run behind him to take advantage of what he does well. I'm open. Listen, man, this is not an agreement show. I'm open to pushback, bro.
No, I didn't want to interrupt your point. I was just thinking that, maybe with the weight thing, it's more of a conditioning thing that they believe. If you're at this weight, at this height, doing this at this point, like, how the analytics has taken over football, just like baseball or any other sport. So maybe they look at it as maybe that particular position at this weight, as they've done research over body types and different things like that, they went probably too over analytical instead of being like you, coach, looking at like, let's see what we can do to best fit this guy and put him in the right position. I'd like to see him anywhere on the line. I heard my brother Kelvin, we were talking on Facebook, and he was like, dog, just put him at guard if that helps. You know what I'm saying? He's talented. Like, let's see what he can do. We got 5 weeks left. Let's see what he can do before week 1. But I would like to see him at right tackle. I would like to see Braxton Jones, if he's the real deal, lock up that left side if he's the real deal. And you got Jenkins on the other side, and then you got depth veterans in Reef, Schofield. Schofield might get a guard position. You never know.
Right.
But that would just make the line that much more successful and solidified if both of them can come in these next 5 weeks and lock down those tackle positions. I don't care which side he's on, as long as they can protect the quarterback.
Yeah,
the most important thing, though, is that, to your point, is that any good coaching staff has to adjust to the player's strengths. I mean, that's what a good coach does. So to use your point, that's exactly what they should be doing.
Right.
Is they should be actually putting him in a position where saying, hey, listen, this is your strength, so we're going to utilize you in this strength. We're going to put you in these packages specifically designed for you because we know that you're good at this. And that's the true definition of a good coaching staff. I think if any coaching staff could do that, it would be this one. Because we had a general manager that was a former offensive lineman. And I think people are not giving him enough credit for basically taking a garbage offensive line and putting it together with pieces.
Right.
You know, remember, like I said, this is not going to be the same offensive line next year.
Right.
So this is just a startup of how he would like to eventually see the offensive line work. But it's not the finished product.
Yeah. I agree with you. What your point was, Fredo. Listen, think about this, guys. Braxton developing. Cody, the veteran. Patrick, Schofield, Sheriff. If we somehow find a way to bring TJ into the fold, right? And I'm not denying, I'm not being dismissive of there may be some buy-in on him, especially if they're talking about moving him to guard, right? I've kind of been in that situation before, and you tell a guy that's, you know, his whole history has been tackle, and you saying, hey, I want to put you on the inside, that's not gonna go over well. But to your point, if we manage to pull it off, I saw somebody kind of tweet out, I think it was another channel, CFC, Chicago Bears Football Confidential. They they tweeted out a potential lineup with Sheriff, Whitehair, Patrick, Schofield, and Tevin Jenkins at right.
Right.
I think if you find a way to if Braxton's eating up people like I am Scott says in practice, eating up Robert Quinn, and keep in mind, guys, you gotta keep a level of sobriety with that, right? That's a speed rusher. That's just one type of pass rusher. But if you find a way this is the statement. If you find a way to get Tevin Jenkins on the field and Braxton still cracks that top starting five lineup, that offensive line is going to be crazy. It's probably going to be underrated, but that's an indictment on how good Braxton is, because if Tevin makes it and Braxton makes it and you find a way to get him on the field, that tells you how far he's gone, like how far he's impressed Ryan Poles. And to Alfredo's point, we do forget that we have a offensive lineman for a GM that evaluates offensive line talent, and Ian Cunningham that has his back in doing that. But one of the things that I've been keeping an eye on, I want to get y'all's input on this week, is I've been kind of questioning, man, Chris Morgan with this whole rollout of the drama dealing with Tevin, right? Because my thing is this, right? You got a young player, young staff, right? You're the position coach. You're responsible for pointing out and moving and shuffling those pieces around the board to make sure you got your top five. But then still, there's also still the professional, personal side of it too as a coach, where you just don't coach technique and you don't coach moves and all this other stuff. You also coach the person, the individual. You coach the mentality, right? And you know, it's like if I led a team on my job, if I had a person that's not producing, right, and I had one leadership challenge, that I'm still required to lead that one person, right? So I got an eye on Chris Morgan. I got my side eye on Chris Morgan as a position coach. I wanted to see, do y'all feel like, you know, that may have some play on it, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I haven't honestly, and then some of the team drills I've seen, I haven't been all that impressed. I'm just saying, man, like, what possibly could that, did I say Reef? I don't know. Somebody got me in the comments. What's y'all feeling about that? Could that be a coaching faux pas, if you will.
You talking about the drill with the medicine balls?
Yeah, man. What was that?
I don't know. I think I seen another coach from another team. I forgot which one that was using it too. But you the coach. We just observers. So I kind of thought, if it ain't a body, if it ain't a 300-pound body coming that way, a medicine ball ain't gonna make no difference. Maybe it's about form, but I think with Chris Morgan, it might be, that tough love, that tough coaching that Eberflus talks about. If somebody makes a mistake, we gonna get on you, we gonna let you know, but we gonna also praise, the good stuff. So maybe it's, how he wants to see his line. Like you said, we've seen him run with the twos. Maybe it's something in technique that he doesn't see, or mental. I really think, and I know I keep harping on it, but I think it's more on the mental side, because I seen a video with one of the DBs get beat by ESB, down the sideline, and he was loafing behind him. We heard about Eddie Jackson getting chewed out for loafing. So maybe it's one of those things where mentally Chris Morgan is just getting into him like, dog, if you think me talking in your ear is bad, wait till Aaron Donald is in front of you. Wait till this person is in front of you chewing you out. Wait till these 50,000 fans in the stands are chewing you out in a whole nother stadium. So I don't know if it's necessarily the actual coaching or the X's and O's with Tevin, because we know he's got that. We know he's got that mental or somewhat cerebral side of it coming out of college. No one talked about that at all.
Right.
The only thing you might have heard about is fake toughness.
Right. I heard about that.
I listened to, I believe it's Windy City Gridiron, and Taylor and I believe Dylan interviewed Scott Wright, the reporter for Oklahoma, the college that he was at, Oklahoma State, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. And they said that he was two different players at that time. At first, he started off finesse early, and coach, you set me straight with that too. They can eventually develop and get that grit and that desire, that extra aggressiveness. It can eventually come, but even Scott Wright said that it had to develop over time. Even after he started, he didn't have any real adversity. He didn't really have to fight for anything. Right. So maybe it's the fact that, let me see how y'all react when I put y'all with the twos. Like he put Eddie Jackson with the twos. We know Elijah Hicks ain't gonna take that spot.
Yeah.
But it's like a message like, hey dog, I'm finna embarrass you a little bit. You sit down, let me let this other guy go out there and do his thing. Let me rah and clap behind him the whole practice and let you sit there and make you think about the mistakes that you're making.
Right, so right. Yeah.
Maybe go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say that's always tricky, like when you coaching players, man, because I guarantee you always have that one player. You always have that player so one of the tricky things for coaching is you always have that one player that's so immensely talented and he knows it. And there's a missing connection, heart and mind connection, right? Where he's not connected mentally with the message you're trying to get across to the team. I remember his senior year, Deontay Johnson, right? Wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? I remember Deontay, his senior year, we asked Deontay to play wide receiver. Deontay was a quarterback, but we brought in a freshman quarterback that was better than him, that could throw the ball 60 yards on a rope, no tail off. It took off like a plane, like a jet plane, taking off when he launched the ball. And we were like, Deontay, look at this kid. You can't tell me that you're a better quarterback than this kid. Listen, if you can straight face say you're better than this kid, it was Devin Black, by the way. Just finished up his senior year at Bethune-Cookman. I said, if you say you're a better quarterback than this kid, then I will go to bat for you. You know what I'm saying? But the connection it's not always that connection doesn't happen easily with everybody, that this is the best thing for the team. You're like, this is who I am. This is what I know I'm great at, right? And what you're asking me to do is basically stake my future, how I feed my family, and all this on trusting you that you say if I do this position move, that it's gonna be the greatest long-term solution for me, right? Now in Deontay's situation, it worked out, right? Moved to wide receiver, had like 1,700 yards receiving on the season, 13 touchdowns returned back, both kickoff and punts, right? Went on to Toledo, started his freshman year, sophomore year, second round draft pick. Now he just got his big payday over at Pittsburgh. It don't always work out like that. It don't always work out like that. Sometimes trusting the coach can be, oh, you're asking me to do something I've never done before that I don't know if even I'm good at. You're throwing me in a situation where I'm not self-confident, and I'm finna get married. I'm engaged. I got a wife to take care of. You see what I'm saying? So it's not just that linear like we think it is sometimes, where, oh yeah, just do what the coach tell you to do. Nah, you know what I'm saying? That man might be thinking about his bills. You know what I'm saying? He might have got one of those new condos or something downtown close to the lake or something he got to pay for now. I'm just saying, man. My dad making a point about this dang on medicine ball in the chat. Listen, I'm going to tell you about this medicine ball, Dad. That is so good drill, but there are better drills. It's greater drills out there. I don't know what people got against the 5-man, 7-man sled anymore, but you know what I'm saying? You can teach proper punching technique on a 5-man or 7-man sled, where you have people go down the road, they punch, double hand, then they go with a 3. My drill used to be you go one down the line, left to right, right to left, double punch, and then you go back, and to give yourself some dexterity with your hands, you go one hand, 2 hands, passing hand, like you're passing players off. Again, you got to be there to see what I'm saying, but I digress. I digress, man. Good. I think we doing good right here on time. We're doing good with the dialogue. Do me a favor. Let me take out a second real fast and give a shout out real fast, man, to my. Let me not mess this up. To my field soldiers. Shout out to y'all, man. Those that subscribe to the channel, man. Y'all liking in the comments. All my subscribers. Over 2,200 of y'all in less than, it ain't even been a year, man. So we cooking over here. Shout out to y'all, all because of y'all doing these things. Listen, again, we got my boy Vil and Fredo joining us from 3 Point Stands podcast, man. Just giving us an insight, bro. It's all love, man. To all y'all that be like, Coach T, gotta agree with him and all that other stuff. Quit the foolishness, bro. You don't have to agree with me on takes, bro. I'm just gonna break down my stuff how I do it. But to your point, y'all offer some great perspectives, right? Again, I think how I think because I've been on the field and it goes away that, but there are perspectives. Like Vil mentioned the mental aspect of it, right? I think it's totally mental when it comes to Tevin Jenkins. What the specific issue is, we don't know. We're speculating, but I think it's in the realm of mental, right? Whether that's failure to adapt or I'm dealing with mental health stuff. Like it can span the whole spectrum, man. So shout out to y'all for that, man. Anything else you want to say real quick before we do this? Coach T's playbook, man. Again, love the field soldiers, man. Shout out
to your
to
point, you could see in the press conference yesterday how uncomfortable he was towards the media.
Yeah.
Just body language alone. I'm a person that looks at body language. It tells me a lot. His body language in that press conference was, I'm out of place. I don't like this stuff. I don't like all this hoopla.
That
so
was
him. That's the mental standpoint, right?
Yeah. No, you own it. Kill it, man. Go ahead. You're killing it.
That's what I feel like. I mean, I feel like he looks like a fish out of water. You know, he doesn't look comfortable in those type of environments and spaces. And it's up to the Bears organization to help him with that, to help him transition to becoming an all-pro. You know, the organization's responsibility is to maximize his potential to the fullest ability. That's their job. That's their responsibility. And from what we see so far, it doesn't seem like they're actually putting that much effort into him. Because, to my point, they feel like they don't owe him anything.
Right.
But if you're going to act like that, at least, you know, give him some type of support where I think I heard Luke Getsy, give him a little bit of a ringing endorsement, saying that he's ready, he's very qualified. So I think that was a positive, or at least the offensive coordinator in his back pocket, at least somebody's in his corner.
Yeah.
Player relations.
That's big. I mean, especially for a player to produce, the player has to feel that the organization has the players back as well.
You hit a point there, man. It almost make the hair stand up on my arm. People don't understand, bro, the level of trust, bro, from offensive coordinator, right? So any football you go to, whether it's high school, pee-wee, college, or NFL, you have 100 to 50,000 offensive coordinators in the stand, right? Just to let you inside of the mentality and mind of play callers, you almost have to be a little bit of a narcissist. You have to be a little bit of a arrogant kind of butthole. I remember, bro, being in that position, like go through a whole week of narrowing down 60 plays to 25 to 30 plays, coming up with a play script, designing your play script sheet, preparing it for a game for that week, only to get to Friday night and you got 5,000 offensive coordinators in the stands, right? And everybody telling you how to do their job, telling you how to do your job better than you. And to your point, Alfredo, Luke coming out, man, I thought his presser was probably the most revealing and refreshing of all the press conference, because for him to come out, one, to show confidence in where the offense was currently, and then also when asked about Tevin, he just casually answered the questions about Tevin and showed support and showed confidence in him, right? Like, hey, all right, when he gets back, he's going to be right in the mix. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was just like, all right, dude, what are y'all making a big deal out of this for? The dude was hurt. He'll be back. When he gets back, he's going to be right up there in the competition. We don't know which 5 it is right now. We're going to go to work and make it happen. Like, that's because the other person I would want to hear from again would be Chris Morgan. So if we're not hearing from Chris Morgan, hearing from Luke is the second best thing. And to me, it's confidence. And like somebody put in the chat, we're going to get there in a second. When we said this earlier, man, listen, find out. There's a happy medium in there somewhere, bro. All right, Tevin, listen. I don't think for the organization, a trade is the ideal thing either, because you're not going to get, because y'all let reports about injury slip. So you're not going to get, a second rounder for him. Y'all better find something to do with him and make it happen, man. Real fast. Let me do a quick transition real fast. Y'all know how we do it. All right. I try not to get flagged by YouTube when I do stuff like that, use songs like that, but they always messing with me, fellas. But I want to hear some of these comments from the DM section. Get y'all comments. By the way, shout out to everybody's favorite Detroit YouTuber, Don Burr, in the comments. Don out there getting them going. Colonel said, what do you think about the 3 new pickups on defense? I probably will pass that off, or I will wait on Swifty to see if he comes in, because y'all know Swifty be all on top of the player personnel people. I stay focused on the X's and O's. I will say this. I feel like we definitely needed more defensive linemen, because this is going to be a defensive line pass rush by committee, a la the 90s New York Giants teams, who they had name brand guys now after they beat New England twice, but back then they just had a rotation of guys that would come in. So I felt like we needed to get a pass rusher anyway. What's y'all thoughts on that real fast?
I like the pickups at linebacker. I've been having questions all week on Twitter, trying to see if anybody can give me any information on the strong side linebacker situation. Like, we haven't heard anything besides the video of Joe Thomas knocking ESB out and causing the fumble. So I need to see what's going on that strong side linebacker side. Who's the man who's leading the charge? Obviously we want Roquan back as soon as possible. Morrow, you don't hear too much about Morrow either. How he's doing. I think I've seen one or two tweets where they said he's kind of neutral, not too high, not too low, so he's doing all right. But that strong side, we haven't really heard anything. I think that's the weakness that not a lot of people talk about.
Yeah, Alfredo, what you got to say on that linebacker or DB defensive situation? We ain't talked a whole lot about defense.
I mean, I like Trayvon Collie. I mean, to me personally, he's 28 years old. I mean, he appeared in 44 NFL games. I mean, over with 31 starts over 4 seasons with the Browns and the Colts and Cardinals. He had 100 tackles, 14 tackles for loss, and 3.5 sacks. He is 6'1", 310-pounder. He entered into the NFL in 2016. I think it's going to add versatility to our defensive line. Obviously, the more bodies we can get in there, the better we're going to be. We can't solely rely on Robert Quinn.
No.
We got to get a rotation in here, especially that max out. We got to get a rotation of fresh legs in and out. So I think this is going to add to us. The cornerback signing, was Devontae Harris. We're just adding depth to corner at this point. I feel like we already have our solidified group. There may be something in regards to the nickel, right? Our nickel corner, because they're talking about putting the rookie at the nickel corner.
We got
Kyler Gordon, right?
Yeah, I think we got a good. I think they're trying some things out with that. We got 5 more weeks left. We got Tavon Young, still waiting on Thomas Graham too. So, but I do like them mixing and matching. So, but I think I know where Alfredo's going. You want to solidify that outside corner, and that's what we were hoping when Kyler Gordon was picked up. But I'm gonna let him finish his point.
But I don't think that we have yet. I mean, I think the jury's still out, on that. But yeah. I mean, the 2 signings, I like them. I like the fact that they're still bringing in guys and still trying. They're still trying to add to the roster.
Yeah,
and that to me is something that is made. It's a makeup of a great team.
Right.
The beginnings of making of a great team is because you're always trying to improve. We're talking about a guy that was under in Kansas City, was under an aggressive GM that he was under, so he knows, and not only that, but our coach was also with an aggressive GM as well, when the Colts general manager.
Yeah.
So to build rosters and to have, the wherewithal to say, hey, we know we're not there yet, but we're going to keep adding, we're going to keep bringing guys in, and we're going to try to keep making improvements as we go. Is a good thing that, it's the best thing you can ask for as a fan.
Yeah. That's the most.
I really like the defensive end signing, me personally. Because of the age,
I was going to say I agree with you. I think that's the most important thing, right? They keep adding bodies. And if you really think about it, right, the 2 nickels that we brought in that were potentially the one guy we brought in from the Ravens, I forget his name.
Tavon Young.
He's supposed to be the guy, right? Played well, but we hadn't heard a lot from him in camp. And then Thomas Graham Jr., who I thought would laud in that nickel spot, in a Tampa 2 defense, because I felt like he excelled when he can keep his eyes on the quarterback and defense that allowed him to do that. But then we hear about them moving Kyler Gordon to the nickel, right? Which I'm not mad at, because guess what? Just like you try and compromise defenses on offense and put people in positions or create mismatches, a lot of team strategy is to put their wide receiver 1 in the slot and get them matched up against a nickel, a guy coming in cold off the bench, hadn't had a whole bunch of reps, and you get Devontae Adams against some no-name brand player, and he has 120 yards receiving or 200 yards, and, we laud it, right? Well, if they're going to do that with Kyler Gordon, then that may not necessarily be so easily do, because if he travels slot outside, then if you're putting a CB1 or 2 up against that wide receiver 1, then, again, you're creating or you're countering what an offensive coordinator is attempting to do right there. So I don't mind that so much. I think my biggest concern for this defense is going to be not their ability to rush the passer, right? I think the thing is going to be a little bit that's being overlooked. Just in the core run game, can y'all stop the run with 7 bodies? Can you stop the run with 7 bodies, period? If you have to add additional bodies to that box to stop, teams from running the ball on you, then it compromises our entire defenses. We got to come out of too high safety. We got to add a man to the box. We got to start blitzing and doing things that, Flu and Allen Williams don't necessarily do a whole lot or did a whole lot in Indy, and we're compromised that way. So, great point on that. I want to hit a quick transition. Y'all keep the comments and questions coming in the section. If I see it, one man show today, usually have Swifty there help me point out good questions. But listen, I want to do a quick session, a quick transition, because I want to do a Coach T's playbook session real fast for y'all. If I can get this to work properly. Boom. Yep. Just like that. We're going to do a playbook session. How y'all guys feel about that?
Down.
Y'all down for it? All right, so let's try and have a little fun here. Let me get my setup going. Again, we just doing a lot of maneuvering, moving around, but I think we can make this happen real fast. Let's see. Let me see if I can keep y'all guys on screen while I do this. Nope.
It's all good. We just want to learn. We watch.
I'm gonna flip this around. I'm gonna do some maneuvering and flip this around, and hopefully it works. All right, cool. So today's Coach T playbook session is I'm gonna talk about flood concepts. Right. So y'all ignore this first. Let me see if I can erase it. No, that's not what we wanted to do. All right, I'm gonna talk about flood concepts. Let's go with this bottom setup right here down at the bottom. We're gonna go with a trips formation here. So we're gonna go trips right or 3x1, right? 11 personnel. So when we did our playbook session, we called it Fitz for Larry Fitzgerald because he wore number 11. And then we go 3x1. So we go 3x1, trips right. And the concept with a flood session. So I'm trying to give y'all nuggets to watch the game a little bit differently during the season. The concept with a flood session, and we're probably going to see this a lot in Luke's offense. You're going to see maybe some trips formations, right? And what we're trying to do here is it's more than one way to to force teams into too high safeties, right? Our whole offense is going to be, any offense is predicated on kind of manipulating these two guys right here, right? If they're too high safeties, then that's going to be 6 or 7 man box depending on the formation, right? There's going to be a 6 or 7 man box depending on the formation. 6 man box we can run against. 7 man box we can run against. The challenge comes in is when we're trying to do running against 8 man boxes, when they move that safety down, right? So defensive coordinators have to choose. If you're gutting them with the run against a 6 or 7 man box, they're going to move a safety down and then go single high safety. Now you get an opportunity to throw the ball, right? You can throw the ball to the outer thirds, or you can try and get something out in the outer flat, something like that. So a flood concept is to get the defensive coordinator to choose, right, how he's going to guard these 3 guys out here, right? You're going to try and force them into too high safety look and zone. You want to roll a guy over the top, right? And then kind of have this guy play center field. He's going to have to play run and the backside. So it's designed to compromise and force defenses to play too high safety all the while emptying the box. And the simple flood concepts is this, right? You're going to have a guy run off. Especially if they're in cover, whatever coverage they're in. You're going to have a guy run off one of the receivers to occupy one of the safeties, and then you're going to try and hit underneath routes down here in the flat to get one side of the field kind of flooded with routes down here, right? So you may do what we call a flag concept, which you're going to have a 9 route and you're going to have some kind of out, and then you may do something different with this guy. You'll have a low, medium, and high read, or you'll send this guy, you'll send this other guy. It's not operating right. You'll send this other guy either across the middle or back right here. So the idea is trying to flood one side of the field with multiple receivers to force that defense to shade a safety over here and move this free safety out of the box, basically to occupy both of your safeties so they're not worried about the run. So right here, you'll see if they're playing with a 6-man box, we can usually run against that 6-man box and have success. I hope I did a decent job at explaining that. Again, they call it flood because you're flooding one side of the field, 3-by-1. You're trying to manipulate the safeties, either force defenses to stay too high safety back, because it just wouldn't make sense if they bring the strong safety down in the box now. Like that would be suicide, right? So again, just something to think about as you watch the game. I did a video on how to read coverages. Always watch your safeties. Watch your cornerback depth, SDL, safety count, cornerback depth, and the leverage. Are they playing outside of the receiver, forcing him back inside? Or are they playing head-up press coverage? That'll let you know if they're in 2-man, 2-zone, single high safety, if they're going to be in man coverage or cover 3. That's Coach T's playbook session for you today. What y'all thinking about that, man? I did that kind of on the fly, bro.
Yeah, that's because you Coach T like that. I'm sitting out here trying to take notes. But
I don't even know if I made sense to myself.
It made sense. It made sense to me because we talked about it earlier. So I think I got the cheat code. Even before Alfredo got here, I think.
Matter of fact, I think we just saw this. We mentioned that earlier. We saw this play. We saw this play in one of the highlight clips where we got Darnell Mooney. Justin, it was the other side of the field, but Justin hit Darnell Mooney on an out route. Right. The whoever's lined up at the X position in that case ran off the corner, and Darnell come underneath for it to get that quick out. That's good for a good first down. You know what I'm saying? 3rd and 5. Need to move the chain, something like that. Good safe route.
Get out of bounds.
Get out of bounds, stop the clock, or a 2-minute situation, right? Same situation there, right? So I like that Luke is putting stuff like that in, man. Definitely appreciate y'all today, man. I don't have a drunk uncle for segment for today. I usually give out a drunk uncle of the week award to somebody in Bears Twitter or one of Bears media beat writers that do something crazy or say something crazy. Last week, it went out the cap for the whole Tevin Jenkins debacle. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know what we do with some of these guys, man. But listen, man, been a little bit over an hour, but I appreciate you guys joining us today, man. This is my man Vil and Alfredo from the 3 Point Stands podcast. Y'all go look them up on YouTube. Find them on Twitter. Y'all can find them on Twitter. I'm a try and retweet something that got Vil's info out there so y'all can follow him on Twitter as well. Funny brother, man. Good brother. Always ask great questions. He always hit me with a great question in Twitter to get me thinking. That's why I said, man, listen, we got to have this brother on the show, man. Baki said he got breaking news for N'Keal Harry. It's looking like he has a severe ankle injury. Yeah. Wow.
I figured that's what it was.
Wow.
He said somebody rolled up on. I think Morrow tackled him, but somebody rolled up on his ankle. It might have been Morrow too, but I think it was like 2 people involved in that tackle. So
hey, before we get out of here, man, what do y'all think? What do y'all think about the MASH unit we had after that hard practice the other day? It seemed like every other player was unavailable after Flu made them boys sweat, and then all of a sudden we got cats put. They didn't tap out that day, but you know what I'm saying? They definitely hit the injury report the next day. That was kind of suspect to me.
Yeah, I seen it 2 different ways. I knew people was gonna come flying out the woodwork with he doing too much. He shouldn't be so intense right now. It's early in training camp. That's why we having injuries. The new coach, blah 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 blah. But the guys got to work hard. We close to the season, and if they came underperforming even in the preseason game, you're gonna hear people complaining about coaching and complaining about lack of intensity and all this stuff. So, I seen it as it probably was a byproduct of that.
Yeah.
But that's a part of football. We've all played in some sort of football, basketball, some sort of sport where you had to practice and give an intense practice before a game or the week of a game or something, just to kind of give your all and show what you got.
Yeah.
It may have been kind of connected to that, but it's a part of football. I don't mind it. I love it. Keep it up. You know, they're soft tissue injuries that's gonna happen during the season. The ankle roll, that wasn't coach's fault.
Yeah.
That was a body falling on the body. That happens in football too. You know what the other side is though? I laughed about the day-to-days because I'm like, did y'all tap out the next day? It was like, I'm gonna pull a Tevin Jenkins and not show up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like let me just chill over here, coach. Today I got a little knee. I got a little knee thing.
Yeah. You might have tapped out that day.
My whole point is, did we hear about any of that in our previous coaching regime?
Not at all, bro.
Okay then. Okay, so that answers the question then.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they need to be doing that.
They need it.
We just heard about guys just wanting to be out of the building. My only criticism would be this, bro. I would do one practice like that, intense, in shorts, and one in pads. Like, get it out the way early. You know what I'm saying? Send your message early. Like, we ain't come to play. Maybe the second or third day. Maybe even the first day of training camp. Just send a message. Look, we finna work. If by all intents and purposes, they have been working. Everybody said they've been running all practice from drill through between drills. They've been running. This is the most intense that they've practiced since some of the players have been there. I think Jalen emphasized that, like, we play and practice pretty hard. So you know, it's just Flu trying to create a culture, man. But I just thought it was interesting because here's the thing, bro, with players at any level, they will find, if they don't want to work hard, they will find a way out. They will find a way to not be out there, right? And I'm sure with all of the collective bargaining agreement crap that NFL players have to do with, bro, they probably, you know what I'm saying? They got their little loopholes, man. Matter of fact, did we not get fined? Like, didn't somebody snitch on us earlier for non-contact?
Early.
These players will find a way. Like, somebody, that had to be a player, because I can't see a staff member just going out and be like, hey, NFL, yo, these dudes out here tripping. They got us going 101s in shells, right?
It was Tevin Jenkins. It was Tevin Jenkins.
He was the whistleblower.
You wrong for that, bro. You wrong for that.
It's all. I told you all the red flags, and I'm connecting all the dots. It was Tevin Jenkins.
The whistleblower.
Bill is crazy with that. Tevin. So Bill said Tevin was a snitch. Tevin got the league on speed dial. They working too hard, coach. Hey, Roger, these boys tripping. They working us too hard, man. And they want me to switch positions.
I ain't going.
And they got this. They got this boy ahead of me.
Yeah, and they put me. Y'all stop, because somebody gonna see this one little part of this, and they gonna take off and run with it. Tevin Jenkins is the snitch.
He's the whistleblower.
Somebody on Bears Twitter gonna take off and run with it, right? They gonna be like, oh my God, yeah, Tevin must have been the switch. You know how I go. How I go. But listen, man, I can't say enough, man, how much I appreciate you guys. You know what I'm saying? Open invitation to come on the show, man. Also, man, if I can help anyway, let me know, man. Love to come on, make an appearance on the 3-point stance, man. Listen, this is my only criteria, and I'm not inviting myself on your show because I hate when people do that to me. But listen, this is my only criteria. Just give me a topic that's non-Bears related, because you know what I'm saying? I'm diverse in a lot of things, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, current events or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah
we love that. We got
I love pop culture. I love hip hop culture. You know what I'm saying? All that. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we didn't talk about the Chris Brown album versus Drake album. We talked about Beyonce album. You know, you got to have the ladies in there. You know what I'm saying? I shave the bald head. My dog always keep the braids tight. You know what I'm saying? We got Coach with the salt and pepper. We had you come on there and
listen,
and bring.
Man, you know what I'm saying? Let Coach do what he do, man.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe they want the granddaddy effect. So, you know what I'm saying? Get some ladies and talk about the talk about the ladies that want the older guy.
I think they call that zaddy where I'm from.
Yeah, I don't let that word come out my mouth. My dog over here.
I ain't going.
You ain't gonna call another man delicious? Is that what you're saying?
Delicious.
Is that what you're saying? You're not calling another grown man delicious.
No, that's not happening.
That's what's up, man. Definitely let us know how we can help, man. I appreciate y'all joining the show, man. We gonna be out of here. Apparently, man, Swifty ain't gonna join us today. Unfortunately, my man been kicking out videos like Swifty. What we doing, bro?
Right.
You probably putting out 3 videos a day.
Killing us.
Oh, but I will plug this for you real fast. Swifty has a Justin Fields video he's been working on that he's gonna release today. Y'all go check that out. Don't forget to subscribe to his channel as well, man. We doing what we do, bro. We'll see y'all next Sunday at 1 p.m. I'll announce when we're going to move this thing up an hour before the season start. About 3 more weeks of this, we're going to move up an hour to do a pregame show. Also, just a quick reminder, if y'all coming to the city for the Atlanta game, holla at your boy, man. I want to meet up with y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Go kick it at one of the spots in the city. You know what I'm saying? We're going to tailgate. I'm going to try to do the show from Mercedes-Benz Stadium still. I think my boy Herb is supposed to be in town. We're going to make it an event. So if you come to the city, man, let me know. DM me on Twitter so we can get something together, man. Get the Bears family together and we can do the ATL takeover.
We just want to know if y'all Grubhub got Magic City chicken wings on it, so we don't got to go and get in trouble from our wives. But
oh no, I just want to go. I'm not. I mean, fuck it. Fuck the wings. I mean.
I was trying to. I always say something on the show to get us in trouble, so I tried to cover us this time. But yeah, that's the code. That's the code. We're going to get chicken wings.
We go to it's either what they say, either chicken wings or the library or church. Yeah. We actually got a club, not a one of those clubs, but we actually got a club or bar here called Church. You can almost get away with that, man. But Alfred, we're gonna have to talk about that off camera, my boy. Like, it's a family program, man. Like you trying to get me in trouble too.
That's why you got to come to our show.
Hey, I'm taking everybody with me.
Right, yeah. We might go. Let's put it this way. I know a few wing spots in the city. Few wing spots.
Wouldn't mind thighs and breasts either.
Oh, man, see, it's always one guy, man. Let me get out of here. Listen, thank y'all for joining the show. I'm Coach T. That's Bill. That's Alfredo for 3 Point Stands Podcast. Y'all tap in. We'll see y'all next week at 1 p.m. Shout out and peace. Bear down.
Bear down.
Y'all boys.